So you want a crypto. Probably not on days like this, but man, Bitcoin and the boys got beat down in the yard, right? At least they got back up. I mean, we're starting to see some rebounds and some bounces and stuff like that. So who was attacking Bitcoin in the playground? Man, it was China. The U.S. is talking about like clamping down on regulations. Elon Musk was out there kicking them and then helping them back up and then kicked them again. Man, it was ugly. So we're going to talk about that. Tons of liquidations got in there and kind of helped make this thing a little bit more compounded than it should have been. And then there's even like tweets or texts or I don't know, whatever it was, of some guys trying to get back at somebody else by crashing the Bitcoin market to make them bankrupt at like 7 a.m. I don't know if you heard about that or not, but I'm going to talk about that too. We'll look at all of the exchanges that went down. So we had KuCoin was down, Coinbase was down, Binance was down, Ameritrade was down. All of these were down at like either 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. almost exactly the same times, Pacific Standard Time in the U.S., which was roughly right in the center time, real close to the time frame of that alleged Bitcoin drive down, right? So we'll talk to that. And then at the end, if you stick around, I'm going to talk about some coins that I'm bullish on, my opinion on the market, and is it over, you know? Or are we looking at a sucker's rally? So if you got wrecked, the worst case scenario that I can probably give you just real quick so you'll stick around is that there's almost always a sucker's rally. If it is over, where, you know, if you play it right, you lost a little bit, and you have a smart plan for that short amount of time, then maybe you could hit that sucker's rally and ride it out, and it won't be so bad. And if you see that, then that's going to be like your final stamp that the market's over. So keep that in mind, that it could be over, but man, I really think that it was just compounded FUD with a regular strong, you know, retracement, and I think we're still in a bull market-ish. But we'll talk about all that. Anyway, like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me what you think, man. I'm really curious to see what you got. Especially on my coins at the end. I got some really low outliers, some altcoin, you know, micro cap, whatever you want to call it. And then, you know, some across the board that I think are going to do really good. Like Polkadot and Kusama. There's a teaser. All right, cheers. Let's go. Where'd all my money go? Man, bloodbath, right? Well, if that was your first big dip, welcome to the club. You know, you got to get it somewhere, and you might as well get it now, I guess. So, what caused Bitcoin to just basically shit the bed, right? Man, about 1,000 different things, to be honest with you. And every time it got lower, somebody just kicked it in the nuts or punched it in the eye, poked it in the ear. You know, I mean, it was never ending, a barrage. I don't even really know where to start, so we're just gonna kind of jump right in and look at some stuff, okay? So why is crypto crashing? Will Bitcoin prices ever recover? Here's what traders and investors say. And honestly, who cares what everyone says, but, you know, nobody's right. Anybody that says they know what's going on is wrong. So why is Bitcoin crashing? Current slump isn't pegged to one single event, piece of news, or anything. It's just FUD, it says. And there's a whole bunch of different reasons that this kind of FUD is developed. So one is China's digital asset policy. The People's Republic was reportedly cracking down on the use of digital assets. I'll talk about China here just 1 second. Bearish tweets from Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk was thumbing up, thumbing down, I don't know, whatever. Then pumping Doge. There's a lot going on there. Institutional investors appear to be shifting away from Bitcoin and back to traditional gold, is another claim. Ample leverage, and man, people got liquidated. I'll show you some numbers on that here in a second too. And then some stuff like outages, right? Like I couldn't use Coinbase, I couldn't use KuCoin. I tried every single one, and I'm going to show you the outage rates on all those. So stick around for that too, all right? Like I said, there's so much that causes all these different things, so I'm going to try and put my finger in as many of these holes in the dam that we saw. Will Bitcoin prices ever recover? Bullish investors are advocating that long-term investors stay the course and review their original investment thesis before dumping their... So listen, and this is what I've told everyone that's talked to me. Why did you buy that particular crypto asset? What was your goal in that? Did you have a plan, a long-term plan, short-term plan? What were your expectations? And then what are your gains? Have you taken profit? Like all of the same stuff that everyone else tells you, these are the things. And if you don't know, maybe write it down, right? Like I have a different plan basically for everything. And I have multiple plans in place for the same asset, if that makes. So like for Bitcoin, I might have a long-term plan for a portion of that and a short-term portion plan, right? So let's say that it jumps really high. I might take a portion of that as profit and move it into something else a little bit more secure, and then leave another portion of that to just keep my exposure. And you decide for yourself, but review that when times are tough, right? And then also review, do you think that in long term within your goals, is it still going to, sustain, maintain, or exceed your expectations? And should you maybe add a little to your portfolio to help diversify that, displace that cost or that loss if you bought in a little bit high? Because if you buy a little bit extra now and it goes back up to that, then you've made some profit and it helps shed off that upper loss, right? And here you go. So here's the time frame, and these are shifts, right? And it says 5%, 10%, or 20% in the last 11 years. Bitcoin has seen more than 750 incidences where prices saw a daily change of 5% or greater, 230 that had 10, and 50 times that was at least 20. And they only go to 20. That's because it's the only thing compare. Like gold and the S&P 500, they don't shift more than that, right? That would be catastrophic. So we get shifts way out. This is like a Tuesday morning, right? Okay, so some of the other things that they didn't mention that I've noticed, Darkside Hackers raked in $90 million in Bitcoin, and then just basically said, you know what, we're putting our 2 weeks notice in, and we're just going to be done because, the U.S. is coming after it. It says, the Darkside ransomware group, believed to be based in Eastern Europe or Russia, has recently disbanded after further investigations by U.S. law enforcement. Darkside affiliate said it was shutting up shop due to the presence of the U.S. Okay. But basically, it kind of puts a little FUD in there for Bitcoin. Basically, they're trying to say that Darkside ransomware group, they're the ones behind the Colonial Pipeline, had 47 victims for $90 million. And there was an actual payout rate, I thought, in here. Where they thought that, yeah, right here. So the 90 million originated from 47 district wallets. According to Darkside ransomware, has affected 99 organizations, and it suggests that around 47 of those paid the victims the ransom to get, with an average ransom payment of 1.9 million. And I'm not sure if they took into factor that one of those was over 4 million at least. Well, two of them were over 4 million, or right around 4 million, so that might change that. Anyway, another one is China, right? Bans financial payment institutions from cryptocurrency businesses. Well, a funny little fact about China is, man, they're like the biggest miner, right? So, and I think what they're referring to is China is the world's largest producer of Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies. From September 2019 to April 2020, China produced 71%, and Inner Mongolia was 8% of the world's hash rate for Bitcoin. And this was on March 5th, 2021. The United States was 5.29% in comparison. And cryptocurrency farmers in Inner Mongolia have also begun transferring their mining rigs from the farms and everything down to the Sichuan province. And the underlying reason is basically it was a coal power plant is what they're saying, and it was, non-sustainable economic or environmentally unfriendly. But it's also causing power outages. There's not enough power in the region, and they were basically having winter outages. So they're trying to move all those mines down to a more sustainable region. China bans the financial. So it was, we've seen this before, but India does it too. They ban cryptocurrency. So we'll just kind of have to see how that plays out. Asian shares slip, Bitcoin tumbles as inflation worries linger. It's like each one of these is just a little pebble, until it all just adds up to like a crushing weight. And inflation is an issue right now. And people they want to put their money somewhere, but if they put it in Bitcoin and it crashes, well, what's the point? The dollar was doing better than, you know, a 50% loss in a day. So they're not going to really be that interested in going to cryptocurrency. They're going to look to silver and gold or something else, right? And so that might be part of it. It's really, you kind of got to look at it from all aspects. The China thing is interesting. Elon Musk with the thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, that's, you know, it's tough to say too. With the Tesla not gonna accept, and then they were, and then, yeah. The crypto asset market, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, stuff like that, it's so small still, even at trillions of dollars, that it can be manipulated with a lot of different things, right? And then the US now, Treasury calls for crypto transfers over 10 grand to be reported to the IRS. They're worried about people avoiding taxes, tax evasion, and cryptocurrency is, you know, going to lead to crackdowns, and that's what people are worried about, and that's kind of, plus they're talking about raising capital gains taxes to like very high levels. But we do see that Bitcoin, you know, we're up to almost 42 grand again. That's not too bad. It was, you know, it was pretty bad down there. 30 something, 30, I don't know, I thought it was lower than that, but I'd have to look at the other candles. I thought it was like 31. This says, you know, we're almost 42. So 20% in the last week, 30% in the last 2 weeks. So we're, by these numbers, about 30% down. All right, here's, all these links will be in the description below. But here's about where we are right now. And this is kind of a fun little thing to give you a feel for if, you know, we got a lot of resistance ahead, or if we got, you know, a little bit of a love or any of that kind of. So kind of sitting where we are right now, it looks like 42 was pretty, I looked at this last night, so it's gone up since then. But yeah, so right here, this 38.2 Fibonacci retracement from week 4 low, 41.5. Looks like it's going to be probably a bit of resistance, so we might actually see this go up. Let's see, let's refresh and see where we're at. Nope, back down. But we do see a lot of support right here between 36 and 37, so hopefully that'll hold out. And this is inaccurate. You know, these numbers aren't, you know, solid, right? You're looking at a range and fluctuations and stuff like that. So they are talking about this Wychoff Distribution exposed by a textbook, talking manipulation, and that this is, you know, there's some more down coming. You can check out the video. There's quite a few people talking about it, so interesting concept, you know. But you take each of these pieces again, and it just keeps adding up to, you know, can it be bullish or can it be bearish? What's going to happen? And then the last one I got right here, some conspiracy, right? They were talking about this guy, hey, insiders, for those of you that are not busy with this mumbo bombo, I don't know what that means, LARPing. I think it's a child's show or something like that from what I kind of remember. But paying attention, there will be another announcement from China soon, but they want to make a press release alongside all the FUD posting is to get BTC as low as it can before 7 a.m. UTC. And 7 a.m. UTC, that was around midnight my time, right? And I'm going to show you some outages times. That's why that's important. And then there'll be a coordinated sell-off to drop the prices below a certain threshold and liquidate one certain stakeholder. Count outright, say who it is, but whatever. And once liquidated, the plan is then to buy up all the reserves and essentially leave him bankrupted. And you don't know, man, is this just some dude talking shit or what? So 7 a.m., right? All right, so if we look at all of the liquidation, I'm going to come back to liquidations. So here we go, 7 a.m., so midnight, and just a few hours after all of that, we had basically KuCoin. This is down detector. So, I mean, these are, you can see normal, and that, I don't even know if that's normal. There's not that many reports of KuCoin. Man, I don't think I ever have it go down. It almost always works, unless it's an update. But, you know, that's usually scheduled. They give an announcement and stuff. So we saw mad outages of KuCoin. Coinbase, same time frame, 6 a.m. I mean, almost to the minute, every one of these went out. Binance. And Binance had a lot of outages because they're the biggest, right? So they, not sure what was going on there. Bittrex, about the same time frame. And then at 9 p.m., there was this neat little spike on a bunch of different things too. Kraken, mad outages at 6 a.m. Gemini, mad outages at 6 a.m. Oh, it keeps going, right? Bitflyer, some outages at 6 a.m. Bitfinex, about the same, couple. You know, it wasn't so bad. Fidelity, though, right? 9 p.m. the night before, which would have been 3 hours before that other. Huge amount of outages for Fidelity, as well as, I guess Bitstamp wasn't too bad. But TD Ameritrade, okay, at 9 p.m. all the way through 6 a.m. They had a little bit of a lull around midnight, but so for some reason stocks at 9 p.m. and then most crypto assets at 6 a.m. And then if you want to look, here's a time frame link. I'll give you the link, but of outages and stuff like that. But when you get down to the 6 a.m. time frame, they didn't list any of that in here. The only one they listed was RuneScape, who only had 147, and some of those had 400 and 500. So I'm not sure why it wasn't on that list. And then we saw Discord around 9 o'clock. They had outages, and then again around the same time in the morning. And AWS, 9 o'clock, they went out. And then again at 6 in the morning, they same thing and started going up. So not sure what all that means, just time frame coincidences, you know. And then if we go back to liquidations, we can see that, I mean, there was a lot of money liquidated, right? And actually this has been updated, so I want to go back farther. But you can see the tail end of it, I guess, right there. That was 530, a ton of liquidations. We're still getting some actually here too. All right. Here's one I want to show you just real quick. Fibonacci golden ratio. And you should check out this link and read it, is what I'm going to say. But basically Fibonacci, when they're talking and you're watching these shows and stuff like that, and they're saying, well, it could be a Fibonacci retracement to 38.2, or what does that mean, right? And I'm just going to break this as quick as I can. And like, I'm no expert trader or anything like that. I have a math degree, so I mean that helps me a little bit. But so Fibonacci's, he's this guy from this town, right? His name's not even Fibonacci, and anyway, that was like his nickname. And it breaks down to, if you want to know what the Fibonacci sequence is, let's start at the top. So it's kind of it's a binary sequence, right? You take the first digit and the second digit, you add them together, and then that gives you the next sequence. And then you take the last two. So the first would be 0, second would be 1. 0 plus 1 equals 1. So the Fibonacci sequence, and even though it's not written here, it doesn't look like Investopedia, it would start with 0. 0 is the first digit of the Fibonacci sequence. 0, 1. 0 plus 1 equals 1. Then you have 1, 1 would be the next two. 1 plus 1 equals 2. That would be your next digit. And then you'd have 1 plus 2. That equals 3. That's your next. And so on for infinity, right? And that's how they come up with 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, etc. So the next one would be 21, right? 8 plus 13. Okay, now that we've established what a Fibonacci sequence is and how it works, they use this in a technical analysis, and it's called the golden ratio. And they use this in everything from biology to astronomy, music. Like, it's not just trading, dude. The Fibonacci sequence, it's all over. And basically the way it's broken down right here is you have 100%, 61.8, 50%, 38.2, and 0. Those are going to be your retracement levels for Fibonacci. And you can see like these lines. And what I want to point out is sometimes they bounce off them right away. And then sometimes they'll actually come up above, come down below. It's kind of, think of it like the center of a range, right? And that range kind of depends on what you're doing. But you can also have, just real quick, these are the Fibonacci retracement levels, lines. So you like at your prices. You can also do this in Fibonacci arcs with trading, Fibonacci fans, and you can find, you know, your disparity. Fibonacci time zones, and this is one I kind of like. So each of the time zones is bigger, you know, so the first time frame is 0, and then you have 1, and then you would have a double, and then, you know, 3. So then you can see how it expands over time, and it gives you an interesting view, right? Perspective. Anyway, and then you go here's your Bitcoin. I like this basically because of the picture overlaid on the arc, and you can see that it makes that arc. Now the entry point to this arc doesn't have to be the bottom, and I want to point that out on this side. If you were to take this whole box with the golden ratio in it, slide it up and to the left just a bit, you'd see it looked like that this was the entry point of about right here. And if you were to slide that, I bet you it would be really close on that arch to here, where then some sort of outlying event happened that dropped it down, where then it retained the golden ratio again. Just theory, you know, we're just chitty chatting here. But so Fibonacci retracement levels in day trading, and this is a good link for you to check out. I'm not going to break it down, but again, here's your Fibonacci's, right? See, there's 21, 34, 55, 89, and so on. Just keep adding them up. Looks like a seashell, right? Looks like a spiral galaxy. Looks like a wave. Looks, you know, a lot of things, right? That's why the Finonacci sequence is so fun, because they just find it everywhere. Math is amazing, and that's just how it is. It's just tough too. The relevant, so this is a sequence prevalent in nature, spiral shapes, yeah, seashells, flowers, constellations, there you go. A couple different Fibonacci thingies. Not going to dig too deep, we got a lot to go through. Here's some fun facts for Fibonacci if you want to get into this. It's pretty fun, and it'd be a fun little read. It talks about like exponentials and different ways that it follows the golden ratio pattern and stuff like that. And then this was just back for all the liquidations. If you're not really familiar with debt ratio liquidation and stuff, I just took the KuCoin help page real quick and give you an idea. So when you're going and it says like 10x leverage or whatever, you take your initial amount, you borrow another amount, like you'll borrow so many USDT to buy some BTC because you think it's going to go up, right? So here's the levels when people are saying you're getting liquidated. 95, that's when you start getting all those text messages saying you're about to get liquidated. And hopefully your project takes a turn and you start going down towards the lower digits. Otherwise, when you hit 97, they cash you out and take your money. And if you want to learn more, there you go. All right. Right now, we're looking at an extreme fear, crypto fear and greed index, right? 23. Usually, the lower this gets, the more likely I am to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, don't do that. And the more it gets over here is the more likely to sell or expect a dip. What am I doing? Man. So, do I think bearish, bullish, whatever? Pretty bullish still on Polkadot because, the Parachains are going live soon on Kusama, and then they're going to bring that to Polkadot. And basically everything that's valued into Polkadot has been speculation and a relay chain. Here is just a recent article from Gavin Wood himself, May 17. And he talks about how Parity Technologies released Polkadot version 0.9. And with it is a huge step forward. This release, now being run by the vast majority of the Kusama network, includes the logic for deploying parachains to the network. It also includes the final logic for running parachain slot auctions and the logic for crowd loans, which can be used to crowd fund the auction bids. Kusama has already been upgraded to the logic contained in this release, version 9010, and is now finally ready to host parachains. Basically, this is what everyone is waiting on. So, Cardano's pretty close in doing its thing too. You're going to see all the projects just like we did on Binance. They're going to start popping up. They're going to go hot. And I don't think that that's the sign of a bear market. These aren't the only projects. I just really wanted to point these out because this parachain launch it's really huge. And you're going to see Kusama go as well. So I'm looking at Polkadot and Kusama right now. Not a, buy order or nothing like that. Not financial advice. But you can read through some of the stuff that I've highlighted and everything. It talks about, the parachains and, here's parachain slot auction. Here's the one from Kraken. Polkadot Kusama parachain auctions explained. And it, same thing. And it shows you how each one, these are all your different parachains. And this right here would be a parathread, right? So you have 3 different projects on one parachain slot. So each of these are parathreads, and each of these are parachains. These parachains are going to, something else on here. Just a quick little explain. Here's the another little visual for you that I'll give you below. All right. How much is it going to cost to get a parachain on Kusama and on Polkadot? A lot. It's going to be millions. And all of these, and they're talking about they want to get up to 100 parachain slots. So, I mean, by this math, that's 500 million. I think that it's probably going to go higher, lower, whatever. But then that's basically just, locked up rent, staked, locked in. And that's what they got to put into. I think that's going to help raise the price, or at least keep it stable, right? That's one of the reasons why I'm bullish on this, because people have to lock up a large amount of their asset in order to make it work, right, to win the auction. Polkadot's going to be huge in DeFi. I don't think that we had that second DeFi summer. I think we just saw a taste, and we haven't seen that come around, right? I think there's still going to be somewhat of a DeFi summer, and I think it's going to be Polkadot that plays a large portion in that. There's going to be some money there. Just, And if you want to look at some 2021 and up to 25 ideas and suggestions, and just where people are kind of looking on your own, you can check this out. It's a pretty good article. It's in the description below. Okay, so, look at this drop. We went 2.4 trillion, 2.5 trillion, T, capital T, and now we're down to 1.5. So we lost $1 trillion right there. That's a substantial, pullback. Are we gonna, how much more are we gonna pull out? Do you think that investors are gonna dump another $1 trillion or $2 trillion right now? Or do you think that they're gonna see this as a huge buy opportunity and realize that, there's just a lot of other outside influential factors that played into this as well? I think that the pullback was natural, and I think if it was unaffected by outside factors, we would have been in the 30%, right around a healthy, strong pullback, or retracement, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a TA guy, and then we would get going, right? But I think that and it seems like every time it gets low, somebody else is like, well, shit, let's kick it again and see if we can knock off another $2,000 or $5,000 or something. And I think you're going to see a buying spree like no other coming very soon, because it has value. All right, things I'm watching, not financial advice, but let's hit it. I'm watching Solana, and it's big, but it held pretty strong right here, right? It fell, but it came back pretty strong. So, I think Solana's, that's what I'm looking for, is things that, who was least affected by this madness? Cartesi, same thing, fell hard, but regained most of that, and I think that you're going to see this move back up. So Solana, you can find this just about anywhere, right? It's on all of the major exchanges. Here you go. Basically. Hot project. 48.92. What do we got? $13.3 billion market cap. Cartesi, $300 million market cap, 88 cents. CTSI, I think this is just now on Coinbase, Binance. I want to say KuCoin, but I can't remember. But anyway, it's all over the place, right? I don't see KuCoin on there. I'm pretty bullish on this one. Ankr, ANKR, 11 cents, 12 cents, something like that. $839 million. Again, it's still down, but I think that this one's going to be a good summer project, right? And then here we go. Whatever. What's an X? I don't know. Ninfin Network, 6 cents. And this one you can get on KuCoin right here. Bitfinex, Liquid. It is $777 million market cap. Circulating supply, 12.2 billion. Total supply is, a whole bunch right there. Looks like 37. But this is the XDC protocol is architected to support smart contracts, 2,000, right? Transaction per second, 2-second transaction time, KYC to master nodes, validator nodes. The XD chain is the digital contract, uses XFIN or whatever, delegated proof of stake, and is intended to create highly scalable, secure permission, and commercial grade blockchain network. It's one that I think is on fire sale right now, and I think that it'll probably, it's one that I'm looking at. I don't think I'm buying this just yet. I want to see some more confirmation of upward growth. But another good hot one, I think that's gonna I'm gonna keep an eye on 9 cents on Digibyte right now. And this was another that was really starting to take off, and then this, I'm looking at this as a fire sale double coupon. I owned some Digibyte from a long time ago, and I think I'm gonna, maybe add to it. Maybe it's time for it to shine. I don't know. Just kind of keeping an eye on that. Some others continuing. ERGO. ERG really, I'm really looking at this one actually. $11.42, $365 million market cap. This is one you can get like Gate.io, some of these exchanges right here. And this one right here. Smart money. Ergo builds advanced cryptographic features and radically new DeFi functionality on the rock-solid foundation laid by a decade of blockchain theory and development. Anyway, here's the integration with Gravity Network, some Ledger Network, and stuff like that. But I'm not doing deep dives right now. We'll just kind of look at it. But where's my overview? Here we go. Yeah, this one pulled back, but I think it was getting ready to take off, but it just took off a little too fast, and it was ready for a retracement anyway. And I think that this is gonna once it catches its breath, really, at what are we at, $11? Man, I think that this will be $25 by the end of the year. Hopefully, maybe better. But not a price prediction, not a deep dive. Polygon, love Polygon. Matic, $1.93 right now, and this is another one that, $2.50, $3, because we were already at 250, and it was really kind of barely starting to take off as the market went. So it depends on what happens with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin recovers, easily $2.50, $3. If it doesn't, yeah, could be $1. Celer, 5 cents, and this is one that's kind of been in that consolidation mode, where it's really volatile, but it's kind of consolidating. I don't know if that's a real word or not, or a real word or not. Consolidation. But $280 million market cap on Celer Network. Yeah. I'm thinking bargain basement prices. And if not, man, and this goes down even more, that just makes me want to buy it even more, to be honest with you. Okay, so some outlier, low, I think, what are we talking here? 60 million? No, 37 million. Holy cow. This was a $150 million market cap like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. UBX, still like it. You can see we're, at a pretty good level. It was already like crashed. Like it had already run down this huge cycle and was looking like it was getting ready to turn around before it even had all this Bitcoin FUD. So I think that one, like, now it's expired coupons, triple coupons. Like, this project, I believe, is going to go back up. Here it is, Ubix Network, DAG hybrid. And they have, so you got the Ubix exchange, and you got the silent notary. And these are the YubiKiri is like the super app, right? The app or whatever. And there's on the bottom, it has a applications tab on the left side of the YubiKiri wallet. When you build your YubiKiri, you get a YubiKiri wallet. And on the left side is all of the functions and tabs. And at the bottom, it'll say applications. And when you click that, you'll get these little squares. And one of them is the UBX exchange, and one of them silent notary. I'm hoping the Make Me Money will be in there pretty soon, right? When they rebrand it to UBStake, we'll be able to see that in that applications tab and just transfer from our wallet to there to get the UBStake rewards. Not I don't know if that's in the plans or not, but if it's not, maybe take that into consideration. I have a UBX wallet, and I've taken from KuCoin. Okay, so what you'll do is, if you want to do this just real quick, there's a ERC20 wrapped version that you buy on KuCoin. And when you get that, you need, man, what'd they charge me? I think they charged me 30,000 UBX as the gas fee to transfer or to withdraw that from my KuCoin wallet and put it into the UBX wallet. I think that was something that KuCoin charged me. But I did 2.5 million, which was, I did 1 Ethereum. So at the time it was like 2.5 million, you know, like just under, it was like 2.4 million. And then, so minus the 30. And then I put that into my wallet. And you need to move at least 300,000 UBX for the wallet, right? And then honestly, what you should do is when you're moving it, and I've kind of found this out later on, change the price a couple times. So if you're doing 2.5 million, do like 2.4, then 2.5 or 2.44 or stuff like that. And it'll go from like a $12,000 fee to like a 300. It's weird how it fluctuates, and I'm not sure what the algorithm is that bases on that, but monkey with that a little bit and see what you think, play around with it. So once you get all that in there, you get 0.1% daily airdrops. And you can take, if you go to Ubistake, the Make Me Money website, and all of that you can check out, you get more for staking, and so you get like a double reward. But I'd like to see that in that application tab. That's what I'm talking about. All right, and then my last like outlier pick is FortKnoxster, FKX. I like this. I've been talking about FortKnoxster, like I think my first or second video was FortKnoxster back in January. 9, almost 10 cents, right? Great project, great team, very passionate about their project. Man, I like it and I like what they're doing. And I 0% think that there's any scam involved in this at all. They're really getting involved. I see a lot of updates on like LinkedIn, and you know, they're sharing different scams that other people are going about. They're really trying to spread the word on security and different projects that are getting hacked or whatever, and then their product as well. So if you're not into this one, maybe give it a little look-see. But I do think that this is solid enough, and that where the numbers are right now, if we look at the charts, it's been growing, and it was really relatively, you know, it had been at this peak, but you know, we were expecting a pullback like that anyway. It's what we'd seen before. It had moved outside of its range already, so this was an inevitable move. So it's hard to adjust that. But over 7 days, we're only down 5.9%. Take that into consideration. And then it's a very low market cap. I don't even know actually what the market cap is on it. Let's see. Right now, just because things have moved so much. Let's go look and see. 15 million. So yeah, that's like outlier, very high risk, right? But very high reward. This is a project I believe that can 10x, 100x. So if you're into that, I think that you could see $1 from FortKnoxster and the relative, you know, a reasonably good expectation, just because of, you know, and they've been around too. So, and they're a solid project. All right. That's all I got. So what do you guys think? Bullish, bearish? Is Bitcoin going to go up? Is it going to go down? Are we done? Should we be selling our shit and getting the hell out? Yeah, man, I'm not. That's where I'm at. Like I'm, you know, basically I'm in for a penny, in for a pound at this point. I got in last time probably at the worst absolute time. Like I researched crypto forever. And then I was like, you know, I'm going to buy this shit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. And then I made it happen. And then it went down like 30% in like my first week. I'm like, wait a minute. For the last 3 months, this thing's been going up. I thought I knew what I was doing, and I got wrecked here, wrecked there. And then it went up, and I evened back out, and it was trial by fire. And then I just rode out the whole bear market, learning about altcoins. I learned about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then all I wanted to know about was altcoins, and how do I find the one for the, like, I want to put $1,000 into here and turn that into 100 grand. I want to put 1,000 into here and turn it into 100 grand. Like, I want to find out how to do stuff like that. And that's what led me to realize that there's so many different altcoins, and most of them are garbage. So you got to look deep, guys. Anyway, that's it for rambling on. Cheers. Hope you liked this video, and like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. But I don't think it's over. I think that, you know, We might see a suckers rally in a dive, worst case. So you'll have a chance to maybe recoup some of your losses. I don't think it's just going to straight plummet to the bottom. So worst case, I'm going to give you a suckers rally where it goes up and everybody's like, oh, we made it, and then it's going to crash back down. So just keep that in mind. If it goes up, do it with a grain of salt and caution and look for profit, right? Try to, if you lost money, try to get it back that way. Don't chase the money, make smart investments, have a plan, right? But I think there's an opportunity for you to do that. Best case, and I think that this is just corrects and people start to become better investors and don't let the FUD affect them as much, and realize that a lot of people are going to try and drive the prices of stuff like this down because they know the cheaper they can buy it, the more they're going to make. And I think that's what it all boils down to. So beyond the cycle of, ups and downs, where we still have a bear market coming, and it's, is it coming sooner than later? We're going to find out here in 2 weeks, we'll know. How about that? All right then, cheers.